Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. We have been talking about planets placed in the different nakshatras, and nakshatras are different planets, and how while being placed in the nakshatras or different planets, they bring in the energy of the planet itself, then they bring in the energy of the what kind of sign it is. Is it a fire sign? Is it a water sign? It's an air sign, and so on. And also the individual nakshatras itself, based on what are the energies of the individual padas, depending on what navamsas they are in. So based on that, we have done a number of videos. We have also covered the Lagna Lord in different nakshatras. We have done the 7th Lord in different nakshatras. We have also done the 2nd Lord in different nakshatras. Today I want to talk about a very important placement, and this can be a make or mar placement for a number of us, because the 3rd house, and I have made a video on this, the 3rd house is the key to your destiny. The third house is also your willpower. The 3rd house is also your motivation. The 3rd house is also your self-enterprise. The 3rd house is almost like a blank space given to you to write your own destiny on it. So when the 3rd Lord gets into different nakshatras, it will bring in its own energy, it will bring in its own manifestation. So let's jump into and find how, when the 3rd Lord gets into different nakshatras, what are the energies it brings in, what are the possibilities it brings in, and what are the manifestations and results that it can bring for us. Now when the 3rd Lord gets into the Sun rule nakshatras, the Sun rule nakshatras have the fire energies and the earth energies. So obviously when the 3rd house Lord gets into Sun rule nakshatras, it will bring in the dissemination of both the Sun as well as the fire and the earth energies. And because it is the Sun rule nakshatras, it means the person will behave with a lot of responsibility and accountability also. All his actions which the 3rd house represents will cater to how the person will think that my dignity, my self-respect is intact, and I have got some power and influence through the work that I do, through what the actions I do, and then what the results I bring about. And because the Sun rule nakshatras have the earth energies and the fire energies, so the fire energies will allow the person to push forward with good results. His or her actions, which are based on the 3rd house energies, which means the person will go head on to get what he or she wants, and the earth energies will ensure that there is a lot of stability also. So in each of the disseminations of the 3rd house, whether it is about the communication that the 3rd house stands for, the ability to market or brand, or to be able to influence others, or self-enterprise, or teaching or advising or guiding that it brings in, and because it is an Upacha house also, getting results over a period of time, and also writing, artistic abilities, using social media, all these disseminations will come in basis how the person will be able to use his or her energies in a very goal oriented fashion and steady fashion. Now when within the Sun rule nakshatras, if the 3rd house gets into the nakshatra of Kritika, now Kritika has 1 pada in the Aries sign and 3 padas in the Taurus sign. So the Aries goal getting, high energy, high motivation, killer instinct will come in, as well as problem solving, and as well the material orientation, the energy to go and get specifically connected to their remuneration, their livelihood, their earning will also come in. So this is an energy that the person, because of the 3rd house energies of influencing others, getting people to act in a certain manner, so this person's influencing skills will also bring in the Aries and the Taurus energy. So this person will be very passionate in whatever he or she does, and the communication will also bring in that go-getting energy. So the person will push forcefully towards certain action, but the goal orientation will be more towards the material needs. If it gets into the nakshatra Uttara Falguni, where 1 pada is in the Leo sign and 3 padas are in the Virgo sign, so yeah, this person, because not only is this nakshatra Uttara Falguni a Sun rule nakshatra, but 1 pada is also the Leo sign energy. So the ability to take responsibility for their actions and to associate their actions with their pride and their dignity is higher. But 3 padas are in the Virgo sign, which means a lot of service orientation will also come in. The person wants to serve others, but with the responsibility, with an accountability. So this is a person who can be very helpful, very caring, can be a little stubborn also, but will be very sincere when the 3rd house gets into the nakshatra of Uttara Falguni. If the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Uttarashada, where one pada is in the Sagittarius sign, mind you, we talked about all the padas are either in the fire sign as well as 3 padas are in the earth sign. So one pada is in the Sagittarius sign and 3 padas are in the Capricorn sign. Because the third house lord is getting into the Sagittarius sign, so this person can be a little risk taking also, can be also forcefully taking actions even when there are some risks involved, because specifically when the person is doing self-enterprise, doing something of his own, you have to take risks. But at the same time, 3 padas are in Capricorn. So this person, whenever he or she does anything, will do it with a lot of purpose, will do a lot of conviction, with a lot of confidence, but also with a lot of duty and discipline also, which the Capricorn sign energy brings in. And this person will want to do things which are following or falling into the rules and regulations, conventions. So the Sun rule nakshatra bringing in the responsibility, and the Capricorn sign, 3 padas getting into the Capricorn sign, being more righteous, being more purposeful as well. If the third house lord gets into the Mercury rule nakshatras, the Mercury rule nakshatras have all the padas are in the water signs, because the Mercury rule nakshatras are either in the Cancer sign, Scorpio sign or the Pisces sign. All the 4 padas are in each of these signs. So when the third house lord gets into the Mercury ruled padas, the third house also has the Gemini energies. Mind you, the third house is ruled by Gemini sign, ruled by Mercury. So when it gets into the Mercury ruled nakshatras, this is the double whammy for them, which means the communication ability will be double, will be intensified, as well as their influencing skills. But the ability to take logical decisions, intelligent decisions, intellectual based decisions based on data, based on information will also be highlighted. But because these are water sign energies, so the person will also be very imaginative, very nurturing, and will also be very creative in how they act, how they will try to influence others. Now if it gets into the nakshatra of Aslesha, where all the 4 padas are in Cancer, so this is a person, because Aslesha energies are here and all 4 padas are in Cancer, so this person can be very nurturing, very caring, very supportive also, but at the same time can be very insightful how the person does, and sometimes can be a bit controlling also, because the third house is about willpower, motivation, and will do it with a lot of passionate energy which the Cancer sign brings in, but will be very empathetic, will be very caring as well. And through those means the person will be able to get results. But because, mind you, it's a Aslesha nakshatra, so sometimes the person may come across as being a little devious and also being a little more manipulative, using the emotions to manipulate. Now if the third lord gets into the nakshatra of Jyeshtha, where all the 4 padas are in the Scorpio sign, so yeah, because the Mercury ruled nakshatra is activated, but the 4 padas are in Scorpio sign, so the intelligent capacity, the capacity to take practical decisions, thought through decision, analytical decision, problem solving approach, but of the Scorpio sign. So this person will also believe that I want to solve problems, but I will also hold my cards close to my chest. I don't want to give up all my secrets. I want to see whether I can trust people enough. Only if I can trust people, then I will communicate, then I will talk to them, then I will involve them in my actions or what I want to say. So this person will have a lot of fiery resolve as well, because of being the third house lord with a lot of willpower, a lot of motivation. But because of having the Scorpio energies, this person will also be sometimes come across as little more secretive, but also having a slightly superiority complex over others, thinking that I know more than the others. So if your third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Jyeshtha, you will have to be more humble. Otherwise, you may lose out on the better probabilities that the nakshatra can give you. Now, if the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Revati, which is one of the better results, which is one of the better nakshatras of Mercury, here all the 4 padas are in the watery sign of Pisces. So this person is more giving, but is also very idealistic. So sometimes these people can be more hopeful than what results may come for them. So they'll keep putting in their willpower, they'll keep putting in their hard work, hoping that better results will come, because it is a very optimism oriented nakshatras. However, these people can also be very sweet in trying to get results done, can be very caring and very responsible also. And usually because of the Revati energies, they tend to be more lucky, specifically when connected to their communication, when connected to their hard work, when they are connected to how they want to get results overall. Now, when the third house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by Venus, all the three nakshatras of Venus have the fiery energies, because all the three nakshatras have, each of the four padas are either in the Aries sign completely, or all four padas are in Leo, or all four padas are in Sagittarius. So while it is a Venus ruled nakshatra, so there is a materialistic tinge to it, but there is also fiery resolve to go and get results. So if the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Bharani, where all four padas are in the Aries sign, so yeah, this person is extremely materialistic, because firstly the third house lord, go-getting sign energy, communicating to get actions, communicating to influence, working hard to get results, and now it is the Bharani nakshatra, where it is an extremely materialistic nakshatra. So here the person is very, very desirous of what the person can get results, and there is always a materialistic tinge to what they want. But sometimes if they don't do as well as others, yeah, the person may also be little jealous, because other people's efforts are seeming to get better fruits than them. However, they have a lot of persevering energy, which the Bharani nakshatra brings in, the fiery resolve of Bharani nakshatra brings in, and they, because of their materialistic desires also, and because of the intelligence also, usually they end up getting good results with persistent effort over a period of time. If it is the Purva Falguni nakshatra in which the third house lord gets in, Purva Falguni nakshatra has all four padas in the Leo sign. So here the responsibility of the sun will come in, because it is the Leo sign energies, but the materialism of Venus will also come in, the fiery resolve will also come in. So usually when the third house lord gets into the Purva Falguni nakshatra, so through their hard work, through their high strong motivation, they end up becoming more fortunate also. But these people are very honest in their efforts, very loyal to their goal at hand, to the people who they are working with, and these people are usually very well groomed. They are very generous in their effort also, and then the zodiac also gets generous in how results turn out for the people. When the third house lord gets into the Purva Falguni nakshatra, their efforts are given reward once they are able to show the responsibility with the intent of the fiery sign and the materialistic energy of Venus. Now if the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Purvashada, all the four padas of the Purvashada nakshatra are in the Sagittarius sign. This is a fun-loving sign, which is Sagittarius, because all four padas are in Sagittarius sign. So the nakshatra, Purvashada nakshatra, makes somebody very striving, strong, confident, but also very kind-hearted, but also make them very, very liberal. However, because of the fiery sign, sometimes they can become very, very over-ambitious and confrontational when they feel that their results are not coming in, their efforts are not giving them the results of what they intend to get and what the final action they want to get. So usually the people with the third house lord in the nakshatra of Purvashada will put all their energy in, so will take a little risk also, but sometimes they will also use their intellectual capacity, but also use their experiential learning, their educational qualification, but learning from the live experiences to get better results. Now when the third house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by moon, all the three nakshatras ruled by the moon have the earth sign energies, which means all the four padas of each of the nakshatras are in the earth sign. So the third house lord getting into the nakshatras ruled by moon means extremely creative, extremely innovative energy, but very empathetic energy, very understanding energy, but with the earth sign steadiness and the steadfast energies also. So if the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Rohini, wo all four padas of the Rohini nakshatra are in the sign of Taurus. This is very creative, this is a very charismatic energy because of the Rohini nakshatra, which is ruled by the moon. So this is the person who wants to work hard to get material results, which the Taurus sign energy represents, and this person will work very, very hard on getting their livelihood, getting their remuneration, getting their earnings through a lot of strong energies. Focus on materialistic energies, focus on getting the money in. But because of the steadiness of Taurus, but because of the creative energies, which the moon brings in, especially because it is the Rohini Nakshatra. So these people can be extremely creative but very imaginative also, and usually the actions, whichever action they do, they will be very sensitive in their approach, they will be very charismatic in their approach, very elegant in their communication, very loyal in their action, and sometimes they will push the emotional hot buttons of the customer or the client to get their work done. If it is the Hasta Nakshatra in which the third house lord gets it, Hasta Nakshatras, all 4 padas are in the sign of Virgo. Virgo sign is the sign of ruled by Mercury. So here the analytical ability, the intellectual ability, but with the caring energy, the nurturing, the affectionate and the creative energy of the moon comes together. So this is a very powerful energy when the third house lord gets into nakshatra of Hasta. So these people can be very independent because of Mercury energies, very problem solving, very firm in their belief, but very persuasive, because here they are using the intellectual capacity of Mercury, the Virgo sign energies, but they are also using the forceful nurturing energies, the empathetic energies built with understanding connected with the moon. So this is a very powerful energy getting towards both materialism but also relationship oriented. So these people can be very skillful and can also be good healers, good problem solvers. If the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Shravana, where all 4 padas of the Shravana nakshatra are in the sign of Capricorn. So here you are bringing in the energies of the moon, the creative, the imaginative, the innovative, the empathetic energies of the moon, but the rule following, the confident, the commitment oriented, the loyal energies, the hard working, the disciplined energies of Capricorn as well. So when the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Shravana, these people are extremely hard working, but they will first listen to others with the understanding, and the Saturnian energies with the Capricorn sign energy brings in. They will be good team players, very learned people, very warm because of the moon energies and because of the servitude oriented energies of Saturn, because Saturn is the ruler of the Capricorn sign. So all their decisions will be very intellectual, very wise. However, sometimes if they don't get the results, they can be a little dissatisfied. So they keep putting in the effort. The Capricorn energies will keep working on that, and the moon's energy of never being satisfied easily will also come in. So over a period of time, through hard work, these people end up getting one of the best results that is possible through a moon ruled nakshatra. Now when the third house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by Mars, all the 3 nakshatras ruled by Mars have either the earth sign energies or the air sign energies. In fact, 2 padas of each nakshatra are in the earth signs and 2 padas are in the air sign. So they bring in the best of the steadiness of the earth sign, but also the compassionate, the social natures and the flexible natures of the air sign as well, where relations become very important. Now if the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Mrigashira, where 2 padas are in the Taurus sign and 2 padas are in the Gemini sign. So 2 padas of Taurus means very materialistic orientation, and 2 padas are in Gemini, which means good communication. Now you're talking about the third house lord and 2 padas in Gemini, which means extremely good in their communication, but their communication will also bring in the steadiness of Taurus. So these people usually they'll stick to their words. If they give their word to somebody, they will stick to their word. However, because of the Gemini sign energies and third house energies of strong willpower, killer instinct, wanting to get their goals, so these people will be very inquisitive also, and usually they are very knowledge seeking, and they can be very good investigators, being able to get down to the bottom to be able to see what they can extract, the best result they can extract. So these people can be extremely striving, and through the efforts of the Martian energies, because this is the Mars ruled nakshatra, but at the same time the third house of go-getting, killer instinct, and mind you, Mars is also the karak of the third house. So this can be extremely passionate energy, a very controlling energy, but also good results getting energy over a period of time, both materialistic energies but combined with the energies of Mars, the Martian energies, but also the communication abilities of the Mrigashira nakshatra. If it is the Chitra nakshatra in which the third house lord gets in, where the 2 padas are in the Virgo sign and 2 padas are in the Libra sign. So 2 padas are in Virgo means extremely complex service orientation, analytical ability, thinking ability, intellectual capacity. 2 padas are in Libra, which means relationship orientedness. But Mars ruled nakshatra, which means high energy, go-getting energy, combined with the willpower and the motivation of the third house lord, of effort being put in, and with the servitude of Virgo and the relationship orientedness of Libra. So these people are very, very dignified in their approach. However, they will be putting in all the efforts to ensure that there is a lot of discipline. They are able to structure things well. They can be very, very good organizers. And because of the extremely good Martian oriented energies and the charm of Libra, these people will also floor people with the ability to communicate, with the fiery resolve of Mars, with the social orientation of Libra, and then they get results over a period of time. One of the best results that you can get both materialistic results based on relationship is when the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Chitra. Now, if the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Dhanishta, extremely powerful orientation. Why? Mars is the karak of the third house, and it is the nakshatra ruled by Mars, and Dhanishta is the nakshatra where two padas are in the Capricorn sign. Mind you, Mars gets exalted in the sign of Capricorn. Obviously, Mars ruled nakshatra and two padas are in Capricorn, which means great success may come to this person. However, two other padas are in Aquarius sign, which means unless they have a societal orientation, focusing on societal reform, focusing on societal gains, and then trying to do something for the larger masses, maybe working in large corporations, but something large should be under their focus, then the Dhanishta Nakshatra gives very good results over a period of time, given the energies of Mars, and at the same time the exaltation energies of Mars in the Capricorn sign, with discipline, structure, organization, and the effort to do something for the large masses. Now, when the third house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by Jupiter, Jupiter ruled nakshatras have the air sign energies and the water sign energies. So firstly, because it is the Jupiter ruled nakshatra, so a lot of wisdom, compassion, large-heartedness, abundance, prosperity is already almost given in if you are able to use the energies well. And because the air energies and water sign energies, because each of the nakshatras have three padas in the air signs and one pada in the water sign. So these strong air orientations of relationships, ability to make connections, but intelligent decisions, intellectual decisions based with along with the wisdom oriented large-heartedness of Jupiter. So this can be a very potent combination of the wisdom of Jupiter, the large-heartedness, the abundance of Jupiter, but the social relationship orientedness of air sign energy. So when the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Punarvasu, where the three padas are in the Gemini sign and one pada is in the Cancer sign. So here the person, because of the three padas are in Gemini sign, is very, very good at in their communication skills, very good at marketing, branding, influencing others. But because one pada is in Cancer, so these people can also be very, very creative, very, very innovative, while being very empathetic, very understanding. So somebody who's very, very empathetic, very, very understanding, very, very intellectual, and ability to use their communication, strong branding skills, and with the large-heartedness, abundance of Jupiter will give you the success. So very, very abundance-oriented nakshatra, which can give you good results if you are able to combine the air energies and the Jupiter's large-heartedness, wisdom-oriented energies, one of the best for both material gains as well as for spiritual gains. If the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Vishaka, where three padas are in the Libra sign and one pada is in the Scorpio sign. So yeah, because it is the Jupiter ruled nakshatra, so obviously the person will think with a lot of wisdom what action they should do. They will be very balanced, especially because three padas are in Libra, so they will be very relationship orientedness, which means they will always try to form connection, they will always try to form synergies with other people. But because one pada are in Scorpio, so sometimes they are not able to get the complete trust of other people, because other people sometimes feel there is something which this person is hiding, though that cannot be. This person may want to keep something more personal until they are required to share that, because these people are relationship oriented, they are social, so they will be able to do that once they also feel they can also trust other people. So this Vishaka Nakshatra sometimes can be little untrusted by other people, and other people sometimes may not cater to what the person wants to do or what the person wants to achieve. So this can be sometimes a roadblock which people may put in, because the person may come out across as very domineering, also very controlling, because the person is using the Scorpio sign energies of being a little hidden, not opening up completely. However, these people are extremely enthusiastic, and if people can trust them, then they can use their sharp-sightedness, their keen energy, their energetic energies to be able to get very good results. Usually the people with Vishaka energies, usually in the first 10 to 15 years of their career, they go through a lot of roadblocks, but in the last 20 to 30 years, they do extremely well as long as they are able to take the relationship along with the 3 padas in the Libra sign energies represent. If the third house lord gets into the nakshatra Purva Bhadrapada, where 3 padas are in the Aquarius sign and 1 pada is in the Pisces sign. So 3 padas in Aquarius means extremely relationship oriented, society oriented, which means they will try to build the connection and they will use their intelligent capacity, intellectual capacity, and being very smart to be able to use the society orientedness to be able to get results. And because 1 pada is in Pisces, so they can also be very optimistic, very idealistic. So wanting to do something for society and being idealistic along with the wisdom of Jupiter. So and the willpower and the strong motivation of the third house lord. So this can be a very potent combination. However, usually these people can sometimes come across as too cynical because sometimes the results that they expect may not come in immediately. However, they are very resilient. They will not be moving away from their task easily, and they will sometimes also come across as a little more diplomatic and a little tactful also to people. Sometimes if their task is not done the way they want, they can also be a little aggressive in their intent. They also have a love for the mysterious, love for the occult also, and so these people, using their resilience, using their nervous energies but the forceful energies and the wisdom of Jupiter, can get their goals achieved. Now when the third house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by Saturn, all the 3 nakshatras ruled by Saturn have the water sign energies, because each of the nakshatras have all the 4 padas in the either the Cancer sign or the Scorpio sign or the Pisces sign. So here you have the dedication, the hard work, the organized structured effort of Saturn, but also the flexibility, the imaginative energies, the intuitive energies of water sign also. So here when the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Pushya, where all 4 padas are in the Cancer sign, so this person can be extremely caring because of the dedication of the Saturn energies and the ability to empathize, ability to understand, ability to support and nurture others, which the Cancer sign represents. So these people are very nurturing, and these people are very kind and generous and very ethical because of the Saturnian energies. Very intelligent also. So usually because of the service orientedness also, they are very self-sufficient but very giving, and because of this giving and the organized effort, these people are able to form strong relationships, and through that they are able to get results as well. If the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Anuradha, where all 4 padas are in the Scorpio sign, so this person is combining the tactical orientation of Mars, which rules the Scorpio sign, but with the dedication, organized effort of Saturn, because these are Saturn ruled nakshatras. So this person can be very logical, will also build strong rapport with others, and through their reasoning and with their balanced effort, they will be able to get good results. So through effort of creating harmony and being very benevolent in the approach, they ultimately get very good results. However, sometimes these people can come across as too self-sacrificing because of the Saturnian energies and because of 4 padas being in Pisces, which can be a more giving nakshatra. So if you have the third house lord getting into the nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada, know how much to give and how much to keep, because your goal orientation, your ability to get your goals at the cost of self, may be under a turmoil. Now if the third house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by Rahu, all the 3 nakshatras ruled by Rahu have the air sign energies of being very social, very relationship oriented, very connection oriented. Because of Rahu energies, these people can also be extremely intelligent, very smart. Now it depends on which nakshatra the third house lord gets in, accordingly those energies will manifest. So if the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Ardra, where all 4 padas of the Ardra nakshatra are in the Gemini sign, so because of being in the air sign, based on communication, which Gemini sign represent, but hard working capacity, and mind you, Gemini sign energy also has the third house energies, because the third house is controlled by the natural sign ruler of the third house is Gemini. So this can be extremely potent combination when the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Ardra, where all 4 padas are in the Gemini sign. So these people can be very clever, very calculating, because Gemini sign energies are ruled by Mercury, the planet of intelligence, but the nakshatra is ruled by Rahu, which will bring in that tact also. So sometimes these people, because of the greed of Rahu, can also come across as being a little stubborn and also hypersensitive, because Gemini sign energy also is dual energies, and sometimes they can be too confused what to do, what not to do. And so sometimes these people can also get isolated, where sometimes they are not able to work in teams to the extent that they feel they should be able to get the results. So if they are not able to get their results, sometimes they can also become very melancholic. However, these people know only two: is either they can be very, very happy, or they can be down in the dumps. However, they are able to overcome the ups and downs through the ability to empathize, through the ability to use tact, through the ability to be able to communicate across boundaries, across thought processes, and then able to break the ice, and through that they are able to get results. One of the most intellectual nakshatras, where specifically because of their tact, intelligence, and the ability to be able to communicate across boundaries, they are able to get their results. If the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Swati, where all 4 padas of the Swati nakshatra are in the sign of Libra, here, because of the relationship orientedness of Libra, the ability to form partnership, the ability to bring synergies together with the intelligent capacity of Rahu, and the tact and the diplomacy of Rahu, and sometimes even the manipulative energies of Rahu, but in relationship, which Libra brings, very, very potent combination. So when the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Swati, these people will be able to form very good relations, very good synergy, and the ability to be able to form synergies, but with the intellectual capacity of Rahu and the tact and diplomacy in relationship helps them to get results. Very, very self-confident, very, very friendly, but very adamant. These people like their freedom and they don't like to be pushed, but very, very artistic, extremely creative, and a little indecisive if they don't get results their way. However, at the end of the day, when they have to turn towards relationship, with the intelligent capacity and the intellectual capacity of Rahu, the ability to get work done, usually this can be one of the best nakshatras to get both material results but also artistic results. Now, if the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Satabisha, where all 4 padas of the Satabisha nakshatra are in the sign of Aquarius, so these people extremely relationship oriented, and they sometimes using the Rahu's intellectual capacity will also be able to form strong networks, be able to reach to people across cultural boundaries, across national boundaries also. So usually these people are extremely adaptable, and these people can also learn from their mistakes. But because of the Aquarius energy, they also have a strong societal focus also. They are very conscientious of their role to be able to do something for the society. So these people can be extremely good healers, they can be very good visionaries, but sometimes they can be a little stubborn because of being very, very opinionated, and so sometimes they may also suffer setbacks in relationship. However, at the end of the day, because of the focus on society, wanting to do something great, being the visionary, they end up getting the result that they want with the intelligent capacity, intellectual capacity, the forceful capacity of Rahu, and the societal awakening of Aquarius. Now, when the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Ketu, all the 3 nakshatras ruled by Ketu have the air sign energies. So here, the capacity of Ketu to alienate you from the results, to detach you from the results, and to sometimes negate the results also comes in. So here the person has to be giving first and then receiving next. So Ketu expects people, when it's a Ketu rule nakshatra, that if your focus is on giving, if your focus is to be able to achieve something for the others, the larger the goal, the larger the mass goal, the better. Ketu nakshatra then give you results over a period of time, because each of the nakshatras have all the 4 padas in the fire sign, which means if you have that strong orientation of wanting to give first and then want to receive, then you will be able to get the results, as long as you have a fiery resolve to get results for others first, to be giving first. So if the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Ashwini, where all 4 padas are in Aries, so the strong motivation, the strong willpower of the third house, the ability to influence others to get the results, and also to communicate with the energies of fiery resolve energies of Aries, and wanting to do something for others. So these people can be very good healers, they can be very good problem solvers, they can also do something very heroic because of the Aries energy. So usually these people will be somebody who will want to do more for society. These people can do very well in the armed forces, in as healers, all those industries where a lot of heroism is needed. So those people who are in the fire brigade, or those people who are extinguishing the fires of the oil fields, all these energies of strong Ashwini energies of the Ashwini brothers who are big healers and which are problem solvers. So if you have the third house lord getting into the nakshatra of Ashwini, so you will be very dynamic, you may be very spontaneous, you may be very action oriented, as long as you keep the heroism within a certain level, because you may end up become too sacrificing for others, which the Ketu rule nakshatras will bring in. So as long as you keep the balance, wanting to do more for others but also avoiding too hasty action, then you will be able to be one of the best problem solvers, one of the best healers, which the zodiac has given the powers for somebody to be. Now if the third house lord is in the nakshatra of Magha, where all 4 padas of the Magha nakshatra are in the Leo sign, so here the responsibility, the accountability of sun, because Leo sign is ruled by sun, that comes in, but the giving nature, the detachment of Ketu comes in. So these people, when you have the third house lord in the nakshatra of Magha, these people can have very, very strong beliefs and they can be very, very caring, but they can also take a lot of pride in doing for others. So usually these people can also be very dominant, because these are the Leo energies, and dominant to do more for others, to be more giving and to be able to get their goals, especially when the goals they know is intended for a higher cause. So usually these people also feel entitled because of the Leo energies, that I should have my way. So sometimes they can be a little traditional, they can also be more materialistic and get involved in materialistic pleasures also. But when they do, sometimes they may not get the results expected of a Ketu rule nakshatra. So if a person with the third house lord getting into the nakshatra of Magha is more caring and has strong beliefs to do more, eventually Ketu helps in getting better results for these people, though you will have to be more giving first. Now if the third house lord gets into the nakshatra of Mula, where all 4 padas are in the Sagittarius sign, highly risk-taking, highly knowledge-oriented, highly liberal, very, very thoughtful, but getting down to the roots of a problem, trying to get to the bottom of the things that they need to extract with the weapon that Ketu holds in his hand. So to be able to extract information, uproot information, and then solve problems, then solve challenges. So these people can be extremely devoted. These people can be very, very disciplined, but sometimes they can be a little inhibited if they don't know whether they have got the proper information. They have been really gotten down to the bottom of the information they need. If they feel they have all the information and they know that they are in control, that they can get very, very good results. Usually these people can be very calm, but if they get angered because of the fiery energy of Sagittarius, also the detachment of Ketu, then these can do a lot of harm, not only to themselves but also to their relationship. So if you have the third house lord in the nakshatra of Mula, it's very good for research, it is very good to do in-depth analysis, analytical problem solving, also healing energies also, but usually these people many times go down into the dumps only to rise up again like a phoenix. So friends, now that we have talked when the third house lord gets into different nakshatras, check which nakshatra your third house lord is placed in, which house it is placed in, what are the conjunctions it is in, what yogas or doshas it is in, because the third house is the capacity to really make your life and be able to turn around your life also. One of the best ways that the zodiac gives you is with the third house lord gets into good nakshatras, more abundance oriented nakshatras, more prosperous nakshatras, especially when there are more yogas involved rather than doshas. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.